Hey everyone, back for round 5 of our first ever competitive Legacy League. Um, 3-1. We did just lose to Eldrazi. Wasn't an awful game. I was consistently 1 mana away from being able to turn the game back around in our favor, but 8 turns never drew another land. Sometimes it just happens in Magic. What else can we say? We're 3-1, like I said. We've now played against Eldrazi was our last opponent. 2 Grixis, or possibly a Grixis and a red-blue Delver, as well as 12 Post. We're playing mono-red Prison. We've cut the Magus of the Moons for Karn the Great Creators. So far, I've had mixed results. I've been impressed with the card. When I get to play it, it does something. It does a lot, usually. But it isn't great against Lightning Bolt decks, of which we've played 2. And the Eldrazi deck would have had a harder time dealing with Magus of the Moon to slow down their mana than they would have with the Karn. Now, the Karn could have gotten Ensnaring Bridge out of my sideboard, which would have saved me infinite time, and I even had a Karn in hand, but again, I could never draw any land, so I couldn't get to enough to be able to deal with my opponent's board state or ever slow them down. They got 2 Thorn of Amethyst. They actually saw 4, I think, sideboard cards in Game 3. It's just Magic. Round 5 is about to begin. Let's have some fun. We have won a lot of Game 1 die rolls today, which is very nice, especially for turn 1 sadnessing. This hand is literal garbage. Also garbage. So going back to what I was saying, sometimes you just lose to like not being able to do anything ever, and that kind of sucks, but what do you do, right? Leave that on the top. Yeah, top, I guess. Play a turn 1 Rabble Master. Hope that does something. We mulled to 5? We mulled to 4. So odds are not good we win this game, but maybe turn 1 Rabble Master just applies enough pressure. We'll find out. I'm assuming we're playing against a 3-1 or better opponent, so there's a good chance. And it's Eldrazi again. So unless we top deck a Blood Moon here, we just do nothing. Oh, and he put on 0 to counter our Chrome Mox. Well, that's fine. We're swinging for a 7 on turn 2. As long as our opponent can't race us, like we have them dead in 2 more turns. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Leaving the Chrome Mox on top was actually probably bad. I was just worried I wouldn't draw any more mana because, like I said, I lost my last game to that. Interesting, so it's like 12 post Eldrazi. I have actually been seeing more and more of that lately, which is cool. It's definitely an interesting deck. I'm trying to see, it might have been good last turn, but that's actually okay, because if they don't do something big this turn, they're just dead, right? In which case, the fact that I've drawn 4 ends up being irrelevant, but guess we'll find out. See what our opponent does here. They do have access to a lot of mana. If they get like cool, oh no, they don't. Not as much mana, anyways. They certainly have good stuff. I think I still just attack all in. Oh well, okay, that seems good. I think that means they're dead. Yeah, okay. So I want to bring in 2 spyglasses. I want to take out a war boss and probably a Chandra. And then the 4 ley line or chalices do nothing, so I'm going to bring in the ley lines now. The ley lines don't, in and of themselves, do anything to my opponent. However, if I can get to Karn before I die, a ley line will allow me to win the game by searching out Helm of Obedience, and I'd rather have just like an alternate win con that I could get to, rather than 4 Chalice of the Void that will do actually nothing. I'm definitely going to keep this. Gemstone Cavern, a basic, and a City of Traders is all the mana I could want, and then I have a Summon Spirit Guide and a Sorcerer Spyglass and a War Boss to actually win the game. Presumably win the game. I have a win condition, I guess would be more accurate. We're going to pitch the Spirit Guide as I don't need the extra mana or even the red. And just pray our opponent doesn't play a turn 1 Wasteland. That will be awkward, certainly. Perhaps pitching the Chrome Mox may have been wiser. Apparently it would have. Go figure. Got our own Ancient Tomb, which is quite nice. I don't need to put... No, we'll just play the Spyglass and see what our opponent's working with. They have Ugin. They don't have a Wasteland. My one buddy tells me I am far, far, far too high on Ugin the Ineffable, because at my LGS, it single-handedly won me games in Legacy. I was playing it in Mud, and it might actually just be better in Eldrazi 12 Post. I also have that deck, and on paper as well as online. I'll probably be streaming it later in the future. For a 6-mana rare, you'd think it doesn't do enough, especially in Mud, because it's not an artifact, but it just does all the things that Mud can't actually do on its own. It can remove colored permanents, which is absolutely amazing. And it creates bodies. If your opponent just can't deal with it, it will win you the game. And it did against 4-color Loam and White-Blue Control. They just were never able to get rid of it, and it just crushed them. I'm not saying it's like the best card to ever be printed, obviously, but I think it was very good. It was something that the decks were missing. Alright, well, War Boss, let's see if you can get there, since the only threat that my opponent had, and now they can't activate it, at least not until they deal with the Spyglass, which is relevant. And if I ever draw anything else, I have more than enough mana to play any card in my deck at this time. I'd like to draw a Karn off the top right now, because it would cut my opponent off mana immediately. What is my opponent thinking about? We don't know what they drew. We know they can't just play a, like, Eye of Ugin wouldn't do it anyways, but we know they can't play just a Soul Land and Ugin, because it can't be activated. You know, as much as having 6 mana would be nice, I wouldn't mind at all a Blood Moon right now to slow my opponent's roll and deal with some of the more problematic cards that they'll eventually get to, especially if they drew any mana rocks. There goes a Temple, So we know 3 of our opponent's 5 cards. They've drawn twice since we took a peek. I'm glad they haven't drawn a Wasteland yet. We'd be in trouble. Karn. They have their own Karn. You know, I've seen the lists online playing Karn as well as Ugin, so I'm not really surprised by that. I'm expecting them to try and strip mine me. So what? Oh, they revealed Grim Monolith. Okay. That does nothing. So I'm playing the City of Traders now rather than waiting, strictly because it's relevant if they draw a Wasteland. It doesn't set me back on mana, and if I draw another land of any kind of my own, then I can sandbag it. And for now, like, if I can draw to Hazoret, I want my hand size to be lower, of course. I don't know if you guys can see. This is Lyra. She's hanging out with the stream, coming to say hi. Oh, she wants to go to bed. I have all the land I could want right now, so I'm just going to play out the Simian Spirit Guide as a way to actually damage my opponent. I'm hoping I can... I'm going to kill Karn this turn and do 2 to my opponent. And then hopefully Spirit Guide will just give me enough time or enough pressure. But we'll see, I guess. I'll send the 2/2 and the 1/1 Goblin at Karn, and then my War Boss at my opponent. My opponent might even have another Karn in hand, that's why they're not worried about this. And if that's the case, I don't mind them playing another one because all they got was a Grim Monolith last turn. I shouldn't say all they got. Like, Grim Monolith is still a great card. I happen to love it, and I like the new art as well. Looks like... Oh, my opponent scooped. Wow, okay, we went 4-1 in our first ever competitive Legacy League. And, wow, yeah. I'll take it. Let's see here. Add to collection. Other products. So we got 2 legacy points, 180 points. So we could actually, I think, play in another league for free because it's only 120 points, unless you can only enter a league once. And then what's this here? Open one of these. Let's open this treasure chest. It's my first league. Let's see what we get. Open all of these, yes. Some more play points. The City of Brass is nice. A couple mythics. Lyra is always good. The Mowu avatar is certainly interesting. Another Trinisphere. So now we have 5. Gonna have to see if I can trade that to someone at some point. But you know what? This was certainly interesting and definitely fun. So that is exciting. If you guys can see a little Mowu there. Oh, it's for Vanguard. I wonder if I can actually use that as an avatar. It looks like I can. Yeah, they all say Vanguard. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Thanks for laughing a little at my misplays, as I do need to not tilt right off the world and start playing like an idiot. Other than that, I'll probably do another stream tomorrow, and I'm not sure when the next one after that'll be. I'm still brand new. I'm still setting everything up. I'm still testing. But thanks for coming out. I'll see you all later.